Okay. Wow, that was a lot. It was a
It
good
was good.
conversation.
It was
Yeah, it was
good.
good.
It was good.
Stardust is here. Oh man, I feel so bad for the people waiting. So, I mean, like I do.
We got to go to the big names.
We don't
Stardust
have
is too
to. We can get the
huge.
small people too. I think we've had a lot of small people, right? Tell you what, we will do this again, right? Soon, me and Brianna Wu. And gang, I'm gonna write down. I'm gonna screenshot this right now. Everyone in the backstage, right? I'm screenshotting it right now. Okay, screenshotting it. Okay, I'm saving this. I'm posting this to my Discord so I know the next time, and it'll be soon. I promise. I'll arrange this with Wu. You guys will get first dibs.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello.
Give me a second here, just one moment.
Yeah, I'm posting the clip of the people in the Discord so I remember and everyone can hold me accountable for this. Again, I do feel bad. Like, but there's like
I'm
20
okay
people.
with you guys pulling in.
Yeah, but we I can't stay till like 1 o'clock, right? So,
Okay.
yeah.
Just one second. One last thing here. Here we go. Okay. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, it's going well. I wake up this morning and my phone is exploding, and it's all the video of you kind of going after Wick last night. So,
Yeah, sorry
um,
about that.
yeah. Well, I wanted to talk to you because like I had a really different impression of all of it than you do. And before we start, I just want to say I love Wardust. I love it when you go aggro. I'm all about angry women just overall. So I love the energy. I hope we can talk about this and still be friends. But
Of course, yeah. No, I mean,
yeah.
Rick and I are still friends. I had disagreements with the way that he handled that situation.
So this is what I was saying at the beginning of the show is I have done so much media over my career, and getting bumped or delayed is just 100% part of this. And I don't know, it just I feel like the part of the conversation that in my view you were missing is you didn't see the chat as we were doing the entire show, and it was like a meltdown, not just by Foodshops, but by a lot of her, people that like her, just completely derailing the entire show. So I think like people getting bumped is normal. I think Wick is trying to be like a producer, and he's trying to be the host at the same time, which probably makes like communication like he hasn't been perfectly communicative with me in the past, and I don't take it personally. So I don't know. I just think it happens, and I think if you're a professional in this space, you handle those kinds of disagreements in back channel rather than just like turning into a bunch of drama. Does that make sense to you?
It makes sense. What I would say to that is one, and this is coming from somebody who has arranged a lot of panels and a lot of interviews and a lot of debates. Okay, so yes,
You guys
things
are you? I'm gonna
happen.
get a drink real quick.
Things happen all the time. That is absolutely true. But when you communicate with somebody weeks in advance and you give them the impression that they are going to have the ability to come on and speak their piece about a way that they are being disparaged, and then the day of, you don't communicate to one of the panelists, or you don't communicate to one of the guests that this person is planning on calling in, and then you find out that that's not going to work out, and then you tell that person, okay, we're going to push it back an hour, and then you push it back another hour, and then this person doesn't get to come on until 10 p.m. Yes, things happen, but this was arranged in advance. There was no communication between Foodshops and Wick during this conversation. And let me tell you, I've had much more heated panels going on while I've been communicating with guests that have been scheduled to come on. I've had people get swatted while they're on my panel. So,
oh my God.
yeah. So, I just don't buy it. I think that you can take a back seat for 1 minute to respond to a message. And again, yes, I see that you're talking about Foodshops and what she was typing in chat. She can't control what the other people are saying in chat, right? But I went through the video, and I made a little Imgur album, and I could be missing things. I just posted it in the side chat, but these are the screen caps that I could get of Foodshops talking during the conversation that you all were having. And it doesn't look particularly psycho to me or schizo to me.
Hold on, let me look at this.
You said the side chat. I don't see it.
Here, let me. I'll send it to you in DM. And also, if we look at the DMs between Whick and Foodshops, she wasn't being forceful. She wasn't being inconsiderate. She was, saying, I know that people get caught up, stuff like that, right? Let me pull it up here. The DMs between the two of you.
Well, while you're doing that, I just want to engage with your point, because I think there are two issues here. First is, I do agree Whick should have done a better job communicating that. And Whick, can I ask a clarifying question? To what degree did you communicate this to Foodshops? Because maybe I'm making an assumption that's not right. Sometimes you've had a guest on, and I've been like, oh, I really want to get on that guest. And what you've said to me is, yeah, jump backstage. Maybe I'll put you higher in the queue. I'll see what I can do, right? It's a very vague promise. Like, it's very indefinite. Did you say to her, like, I will add you to this panel with Wu? Because your tweets did not mention Foodshops earlier.
Specifically not, because again, this was never going to be the main event. And I made that clear on the 9th, or maybe this 8th or the 7th, right? Back in weeks ago, right? That this was going to be a courtesy that I did, because again, she had credible accusations against her, and I wanted to give her a chance. As Fairy Queen said, Fairy Queen would disagree with me. Like, I took from my community for this, right? Even having her on, I put my neck out on this, right? Like, I put my neck out. And I took a lot of shit from my community before these shows.
Sure, but the way that you banned her is still not even similar to the way that you banned other people.
Here. But I was very clear, right, that she wasn't going to be part of the main show. Where I did, where the miscommunication happened was, I thought you would be cool with it. I didn't know you guys had beef, so I didn't even talk to you about it. Much like you didn't talk to me about the wanting Stardust on or wanting Counterpoints on, because you assumed it would be okay with me, and it was, right? Like, sure. I just assumed. My bad, right? But right when I did find out, as soon as I asked you that day, I think at like 3:30 or something, 3:45, I forget the exact time. As soon as I found out, I immediately messaged her, hey, look, this is a situation now. I can't promise, like, we're going to have to wait till after the main segment. I said 8 o'clock. My bad on that, too. I thought you guys would be done around 8. I was wrong. And then, again, 10 o'clock comes around. I have her on. Everything I told her I would do, I did. Everything. And I don't know what else.
Okay, so
her complaint is she didn't get on soon enough. That's her complaint.
That's not her complaint. That's not the entirety of her complaint. There are several points of contention here. First off, yes, you can say that she was not going to be the main topic of conversation in this, and that is very much the truth. But to act like she didn't have a significant portion in this conversation even taking place would be dishonest, right? Deb was the one who proposed this conversation, partially because of how Foodshops was getting eviscerated.
Yes, but that's not accurate, and let me tell you why. Because yes, SFO and Foodshops and I were supposed to have one without Wu. The Wu and Dev thing was done separately. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brianna, but I think you were the one that mentioned wanting to talk to SFO again. Yeah. So I set that up. That was entirely separate from Foodshops.
That may be the case, but Foodshops...
No, if I may finish, I said, right, I thought, oh, well, it's been really hard getting SFO scheduled for Foodshops alone, but I know SFO committed to this, so why don't we just do them both at the same time?
Okay, then Foodshops is still under the impression that she is a significant reason for this conversation happening in the first place, and she's not necessarily wrong, because you did combine these two things. Secondly, even though she is only a segment in this, you did communicate with her weeks prior that she would have a chance to talk and defend herself. She is not under the... Let me finish. She was not under the impression that she was going to be able to talk the entire time. It seems that she was fine with that. The problem is that you did not communicate to the guests of your show who was planning on calling in, especially since they are a significant portion of the reason for that happening, and also because they are there to defend themselves.
It's a significant portion. They're not. They're not.
it is
If Foodshop had not happened, we
you
would
were
have
combining
had that whole
two
conversation.
conversations. You were combining two conversations, and you've just admitted that one of those conversations was significantly due to the fact that Foodshops is getting eviscerated. So yes, you can say that the other conversation is not related to her, but you yourself just admitted that these are two conversations being combined.
Absolutely. And so, I brought her on for her own conversation. I brought her on for her own conversation.
That is not the issue that I'm bringing up right now. The issue that I'm bringing up is that you did not communicate to your guests that this person who wants to defend themselves and is a significant reason for one of the conversations, communicate that to your guests, and you didn't find out that they weren't okay with that. Then you were telling her the day of that, oh, it's not going to be 7 p.m., it's going to be 8 p.m. And then after that, she's sending you a message at 8:11 p.m. saying, she's saying, let's see here, 8:11 p.m.
Hurry up, let me on, please, hurry up, let me on.
That is actually such a dishonest framing of this. That's actually offensive.
I'll read them.
Foodshop deserves an apology from you.
First of all, she leaked all of our DMs after this. She leaked all of our DMs after this. She talked mad shit, and then she's asking for apology?
Yeah.
Not on my life.
Wick, you are lying about the framing of this. At
Let me read it.
PM,
people get
I'm reading it to you right now. At 8:11 p.m., she messages you. She says, hey, are we up? It's past time. Then 8:27 p.m., she says, hey, Wick, I know it's not your fault because you don't want to interrupt them. But is it possible to push this along? I would appreciate that. We are about 27 minutes behind, and the guests are not even on Vaush yet. Thank you.
And let's combine that with her chat statements. Right? Are we there yet? I'll check back in 2 hours. They seem to be quite passionate, so I'll wait. Chat, give me power. Come on, your chat is my chat. I'm reading these out. These
are not schizo messages at all. These are jokes. She says, hi. Then she says, are we there yet? I'll check back in 2 hours. Then she says,
I don't think they seem.
Jokes. Let me finish.
Not jokes at all.
Let me finish.
Wow.
You guys don't know food shops. I do.
Well,
okay.
Guess what?
Then
you know what? Me putting her off was just a joke. So why are you so
Let me read the rest of these chats in your chat, Wick. They seem
just
to be
a joke. It's just a joke. It's just a joke, so it's okay.
Yes. Foodshop says.
Just a joke. We were joking.
Wick, are you gonna let me speak, or are you gonna keep running your fucking mouth, you stupid fucking idiot?
I will do whatever I want, and you can't stop me.
Okay, then I will
$5 from Cryborn. Oh, let me get the $5. Can we stop holding Wick to account for accidentally not platforming a Wally please?
I'm going to eat you if you don't shut the fuck up. I will literally eat you. Okay. Foodshop says, hi. Then she says, are we there yet? I'll check back in 2 hours. I've posted the entire logs of what she has posted in your chat. Then she says, they seem to be quite passionate at the moment, so I'll wait. Then she says, LOL. Chat, give me power. Then angry face. LOL at the beginning. Does that seem like a serious comment to you? Then she says, I'm going to need time to hash out my positions. Can we reschedule? Still no response from you in her DMs, by the way. Then she says, it's quite difficult to stuff a heavy topic such as Vaush/Loli/my drama into one small talk. She's very understanding in your chat, Wick. Wow, how considerate of her. Then she says, Foodshop says, lend me your support, chat. I've been done dirty. Then she says, your chat is my chat, Wick. And obviously, whatever. Then she says, what the fuck? Why didn't I ever get the autism defense, Lamau? That's it. These don't seem like crazy messages to me in your chat, Wick. You are overplaying and you are dishonestly framing this entire situation.
That's not true at all, right?
It is true.
Again,
you are
based on, and you know how I know that's true?
As her
you know how I know it's true?
Aggressive.
Because of her
She's
behavior.
Not been aggressive.
Because of her behavior after the fact.
When she
behaved after
gave
the fact.
5 minutes
you think it's okay
very
to
respectfully
leak
and
DMs?
left? Are you fucking
kidding me? You think
it's
okay to leak DM logs?
Yes, because you were fucking lying. You were
I'm
lying.
You have yet to point out a single lie. Once again, let's go over the facts of the case. The facts of the case. I said that she would come on after the main segment. I communicated that day that Wu did not want to have her on.
That's fine.
I communicated that, right? Is that true?
You dishonestly framed it. You're framing it as if she was
What is
pestering you.
the dishonesty of saying I communicated to her the day of the panel that she could not be on with Wu at the same time?
She was fine with that. And she was fine with that. And she was asking very nicely, Wick, hey, are we up? It's past time. Hey, Wick, I know it's not your fault because you don't want to interrupt them. But is it possible to push this along? What part of that is inconsiderate? What part of that is
Again,
her
it's not
pestering you?
just that. It's the behavior when she
And her
was
behavior in the
outgoing,
chat wasn't that bad
and then the
either. She was
behavior,
actually
and
being
then the behavior
incredibly nice to
afterwards.
you in chat.
It is indicative of
Her
unhinged
behavior,
crazy.
her behavior in your chat. I have posted the logs. I've posted the logs. The behavior does not look crazy to me at all. She says they seem to be quite passionate at the moment, so I'll wait. LOL chat, give me power. I'm gonna need to hash out my positions. We can reschedule question mark.
Come on, what did she say?
When did you respond to her in all of that? In all of that, when did you respond to her or communicate to her?
I communicated her on stream when I said, hey, pause a minute, stop schizoing out, I'll get to you. That's what I said.
She's not schizoing out in the chat, though. That's not schizoing out. Are you fucking kidding me?
Can I ask a clarifying question? And this is like, both of y'all have communities, so tell me if I'm wrong on this. So maybe this is not charitable, but I interpreted a lot of the behavior in the chat because it wasn't just her doing this. It was a whole bunch of people. I remember one account, it was just a complete throwaway account that started doing super chats for $2. Whick, do you remember the name of this? Because it was so clear from the name. Short Goblin. An account that had just been made for this panel, and paying the minimum to basically insert themselves into this. I don't have any proof for this. I'm just saying it was one of my core assumptions that she was probably behind that, or her community is. And this is my question.
Yeah, she's not that type of person. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong on that. I'm being uncharitable. But like, is there a responsibility that a streamer has to like how their audience behaves in someone else's chat? Because I assumed that she was the one like feeling all this nonsense.
No, she wasn't. She is a minuscule streamer in comparison to Whick. Yeah. Okay. And I would be willing to say that probably the people who are making these alternate accounts are coming from a different community that we both, like Whick and I both know.
No, that might very well be true. Look,
they have a history of it.
I'm not. I have the beef I have with Foodshops is how she behaved when she got on, how she
she was still respectful
the day after, and how immediately after that. Did you watch her stream?
Yeah,
I didn't watch her stream.
Okay.
But she was
go back and
was
do that
entitled. Wait, no, actually, I think I did watch her stream because I hopped onto it. So yeah, I did pop onto her stream after that because I had just gotten back. But I will say, I think Foodshops is entitled to an apology because people are making excuses
she's just not, and especially not after her
let me finish what I'm saying.
Any chance at apology, she just wasted.
Okay, well, Whick, if you treat people like this, people as small as Foodshops like this, and you treat them with this much inconsideration, people, even larger people than her, larger people than you, might look at that and be like, I don't want to go on this guy's fucking panel.
They are free to make that assumption.
And let me think that she is entitled to an apology.
They can look at how I treat my guests.
Okay, all right. She is entitled to an apology because she has been smeared, she has been shit on for weeks on end. In the meantime, Vaush has been caught saying way worse things, has been caught with actual shit on his computer, has been caught with not just but bestiality shit on his computer, horses fucking little girls, and he's been caught justifying CP in conversations.
I haven't had him on.
Discord messages.
Good thing.
Let me finish what I'm saying, Whick. Let me finish what I'm saying. Whick.
That I'm not going to have him on until he answers.
Are you going to let me finish?
Shit.
Whick, are you going to let me finish? There are tons of Discord messages of him talking about horse cocks. Foodshops has not had even a fraction of all of that shit. Right? And she got shit on way harder than Vaush did. It's weird to me that you guys are so willing to shit on a trans female, and then you're willing to go to bat for a cis man who has a history of being fucking exploitative of Poppy, an autistic woman.
You know, as I have beef with people like Viv and people like Foodshops and Viv and things like that, I've never said that they weren't women. So do we want to go there?
We can go there, and I stick by what I say on Jalen.
Okay, I think that was terrible honestly.
Well, you can
I think
take
it was
that.
terrible.
You can think that whatever you want.
What she did was also terrible, to be clear. But that's a line we don't cross. We don't go after people's families, okay? And we don't go after people's.
This
like,
is a person who says the N-word with a hard R left and right. I don't have respect. I don't have respect for that. No, I will engage respectfully with racists all the time, Whick. This person is not entitled to my respect. What I am saying about Foodshops, and nice deflection, by the way.
Oh my God!
Nice
Neither
deflection.
is Foodshops entitled to mine. Wow!
Okay, Whick,
Great!
nice
I'm glad we fucking cleared that up.
Whick,
I'm glad we fucking cleared that up. I'm glad you are holding me to the same standards you hold yourself.
Whick, you are bringing up a completely irrelevant drama because you don't want to deal with the very pressing, very real, very accurate
I'm sorry that I was a little rude to someone who is credibly accused of being a pedophile. My bad.
Credibly accused. Okay, Vaush is way more likely
I'll
to be a
rude to
pedophile
him
than Foodshops is
too.
because I've seen her fucking goon stash. Okay. Secondly, again, this is a cis man who has a history of harassing women online, and you guys are going to fucking bat for him? And
I'm saying you do not question.
Foodshops is sitting in the chat
You
waiting
understand.
for hours to get on while you guys are shitting on
2
her.
hours.
And then she's at 2 hours, yes, and that is unacceptable because you aren't responding to her in those 2 hours, which you should be doing as a panel host. And then you think that she's wrong for going on her spiel for 5 minutes and deciding to drop out after that? I think she was incredibly respectful of you in that moment, and I think that you're fucking delusional.
Okay, well, you are free to have your opinion, but at the end of the day, right? I think that I gave her adequate communication beforehand. Is it as much as I would have liked? Would I have liked more time? Sure. Would I have liked the conversation, right? Didn't last so long, and she would have gotten on earlier? Certainly. But
Whick, did you or did you not communicate with her?
Oh my God, you can't even.
Did you or did you not communicate with her in those 2 hours? After 8, you told her 8 p.m. She messaged you at 8:11. Did you respond to her or did you not?
No, I was busy.
You were busy.
I was doing
You couldn't take a backseat for 30 seconds to respond to a message?
Not when I'm hosting a show, because I want my shows to be good.
During a panel where somebody was getting swatted on my panel, and you can't do that during a normal fucking conversation?
If she was on my panel, then she's my guest at that time, and I prioritize her. When she's not on my panel, she's a future guest, and she takes a backseat to the people who are on my panel at the time. That's the order of operations. And on your panel getting swatted, right? While they were getting swatted on your panel, did you take the time, right, to DM someone who was a future guest? No, that would be insane. What you did was you dealt with the thing that was happening on stream
when I'm hosting panels. Are you kidding me? Again, it was you gave her a specific time. She messaged you at 8:11. You did not respond to her in messages or
cry about it.
Okay, fine. You're an incompetent panel host then. If you want to keep doing that, you are incompetent. And I do have a question for Brianna. Why are you willing to go to bat for a cis man who has a documented history of harassing women online, but you're willing to shit on Foodshops?
I don't think I've defended Vaush at all, and I don't. I was asked about her at 2 points during the panel. I did not want to talk about her at all. The first time was when Dev asked me about her really directly, and the second was when Whick asked me about her really directly. My style is, if I don't like someone, I just tend to not make public drama out of it. I try to keep it in back channel. And I think if you look at the stream Connor and I did, where we brought up Foodshops very, very briefly, only because that was very much in the news. I think if you compared my condemnation of her in that video versus what I've said on Vaush on this panel today, I think I've been much harder on Vaush, actually.
Okay, fair enough, but I still see the initial tweet from you on February 16th, where you said, in response to somebody, Vaush got caught with Loli and Ho Keffels is defending Vaush. I really want to know your stance because I highly respect your opinion most of the time. Your response to that was, I'm strongly against Loli. Think we need to not normalize that shit, but also looking at mistakes people make in proportion to their impact and wider context of their work.
And
So,
then look at the 2 tweets underneath it. So remember, I'd been on Twitter break because I'd been getting a lot of death threats. This was the first day I came back from Twitter, and I literally had about 5 million messages in my DMs, and I was barely aware of anything with Vaush. And I started reading about it, so read the next 2 tweets, please.
Okay, is this the right one? To be crystal clear, I'm not defending any of this shit. Loli is degenerate, full stop. I have turned off many Vaush streams when he talks about weird sex stuff. I wish he'd stick to politics. Jesus,
and then look at the one underneath it. Yep.
I'm reading 2 weeks of DMs now. Actually, this is some disturbing shit. I withdraw my earlier comments. I need to read a lot more. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. But, again, I will still say that, Whick, you're fucking wrong for the way that you treated Foodshops.
An apology for mischaracterizing her?
No, I asked her a question. No? She clarified. And,
I
think we're good.
On your own stream, right?
I don't feel like I need an apology.
Well, if we're just demanding apologies for people, right?
I do think Foodshops is entitled to one because she's been shit on relentlessly, and the way that
I'll shit on her more for her behavior. She leaked my fucking DMs.
The way that you banned Whick, the way that you banned her from your community is completely different from the way that you've treated banning anybody else in your community.
In her favor, no other person who I have banned from my community has gotten the opportunity to come on stream and ask for the ban back. None. This is something that I did to her favor.
Yes,
this is something that I gave her a privilege.
Fucked up initially. You did that because you fucked up initially, and even when you did that, you fucked up again.
That I what at the end?
Even when you did that, you were doing that to make up for fucking up initially in your banning of her, right? And then when you gave her the opportunity to come onto your stream, you still fucked up.
I did not have to own up to that. I gave her that opportunity, and she chose to throw a fit.
You did not communicate with her in a timely manner.
Opportunity. And, you did not when I extended on your stream, when I extended, even so, I gave her the grace, the courtesy to extend it once again, saying, hey, it doesn't even have to be on my show. Hey, it doesn't even have to be public. We will do this. She chose to take umbrage and take offense.
And I understand why she
again
did.
Draws into question which is more important to her. Right? Being able to answer for the credible accusations against her, or taking umbrage and making some videos out of it.
Maybe it is, Whick, that
drama
she felt,
farming.
Whick, maybe it is that she felt you all were drama farming her.
Artemis foul. Wick, it's really rude of you to ignore Tachyon, whom you said you would have on in favor of bringing Stardust on, and you haven't messaged Tachyon.
Look, I messaged in the chat. I said
that's a troll because I did actually message Tachyon.
Okay, I messaged in the chat. I said I was fine with you guys bringing on other people before me.
But that's funny, Artemis. Thank you for the $5.
But again, I will say, Foodshops is, she felt. And I understand why she felt this way. She felt that her issue was being drama farmed while you guys were on stream with her, and she wasn't being given a chance to respond at that moment. And you weren't shutting down the conversations of people talking about her, Whick. You didn't do that.
I don't shut down conversations of people talking about anyone.
We were talking about this yesterday.
The
Jerry Springer thing, right? If this person is not able to come on and defend themselves, then the courteous thing to do is to shut down the conversation on them.
Oh no, I don't know about that. I think that as long as you bring on them directly after or very shortly after, I think
it wasn't directly after. It wasn't shortly after.
It was directly after.
It was not.
It was the very next segment.
It was
again, the very next segment.
How long was that?
I don't know, an hour and a half, 2.
Yeah, that's not directly after, Whick.
Yes, it is. The segment ended, and then the very next segment was her. It's not.
An hour and a half is not her getting to reply directly to those things that people are saying about her. That's just wrong, and you know it is.
No, it's not.
Don't act like a fucking baby. You don't know what you're talking about. Don't act like a fucking baby. This is some competence shit that you're doing over here. Is it moral frauding? Is it from you?
At the most,
at the
very worst, is a scheduling error.
Which is
right?
wild to
Remember,
me,
I want you to be clear what you're doing here.
By the way,
right? You are trying to, again, woke scold me for.
Am I woke scolding you?
For misscheduling someone who has credible accusations.
Misscheduling.
That's what we're doing. We're woke scolding me.
All right.
How dare you misschedule that person who is credible accusations of pedophilia against me?
It's not just misscheduling. You have dishonestly framed.
How dare you? Oh my God, I am a terrible person.
You're dishonestly framing my argument
monster,
now.
I guess.
After again, my criticisms of you on that day are many, Whick. You are dishonestly framing that. You dishonestly framed what Foodshop was sending to you in DMs, and she leaked those DMs, so I'm glad we see it. You are dishonestly framing the way that she was messaging in chat, which I'm glad that I went through that chat right before I came in here, and I found all the messages that she sent, because they're really not that fucking bad. Okay. You did not communicate with her in a timely manner. You did not communicate with her. You did not communicate with her over 2 hours past the time that you gave her. Right? You did not. You did not respond to her saying in chat, "Should we reschedule?"
Seriously, I just can't.
I'm giving you a list, and you can laugh it off all you want. But again, I am not the only person who has these critiques. I have been way more charitable to you than your critics have. I've been way more charitable to you than your critics have. I even took to your defense last night on points that I didn't agree with. So please take my criticism seriously, because I don't.
If they were serious, I would, but I don't think these are serious. I am not going to treat them as serious when they're clown shit. Why would I do that?
Why are you stealing my insults? I called you clown shit yesterday. Don't steal my fucking insults.
This is what these accusations are. Why would I take this seriously?
You are stealing my insult from yesterday. You literally are. Okay? I have been way more charitable to you than any other critic of you has. And you do have people who have refused to go on panels ever since having to deal with you. So really,
if I am so hard to deal with, that if they can't handle dealing with me, then fuck them. They won't survive in a panel. If they can't handle it, someone who is pretty fucking mild-mannered, pretty fucking reasonable, if they can't deal with me, then they probably shouldn't be in this space.
Whick, it's one thing to be disrespectful to food shops. It's one thing to be disrespectful to all these other people, right? But you and I have an established rapport. You and I are colleagues. I have, in many different scenarios where other people were not doing it. I have defended you in many different scenarios where other people were refusing to do so. So when I have critiques of you, Rick, I would like you to listen to my critiques and listen to them seriously. And you do not do that. You've been laughing me out this entire time.
What do you think I've done today? I've listened to them.
You have not listened to them.
Like, just because we have rapport and you're cool
right now.
And you're a cool person. I like you, Stardust. But these criticisms.
I'm sorry. You're not taking them seriously because your ego is too big. Your ego is too big. It is what it is. When you are a panel host, your panels are reliant on your panelists. They deserve respect from you. If you don't have your panelists, you don't have a panel. Don't treat me. Do not treat me like I'm bad faith.
Replaceable commodity. There's tons of panel hosts out there. Do not treat me like I'm bad faith.
I have been bringing you credible critiques. I'm bringing you credible critiques. I do not critique you very often, so you should take these seriously.
Again,
instead you're laughing them off.
I wish they were. I wish I had serious criticisms to engage with her.
You know how this looks, right? I'm like one of the few people, again, who will go to bat for you. And you're laughing off my critiques. So I don't know what to say.
Fair enough. That's all you got. Go ahead, Brianna, if you want to.
No, I hear what you're saying. I don't think an apology is an unreasonable thing to say. I do want to ask you, Stardust, because I agree with you. I think a wrong has been done here. Do you think Whick is owed an apology for leaking DMs and making all of this public? Because the reason I didn't want to talk to Foodshops on the show is because there is a tendency to drama farm a lot of stuff that I've seen with her, right? So, do you think that there was unprofessional behavior on the other side?
I think in a normal scenario, I definitely would be very critical of Foodshops leaking those DMs, but I do think because Whick was dishonestly framing the way that she was messaging him, I think it's fair that she leaked some of those DMs. Do I agree with her leaking all of them throughout all of history? Probably not. I think her leaking the day of DMs would have been just fine enough to counter what Whick is saying about the way that she is messaging him.
$5 from Artemis Val to ask you, and this is to you, Stardust. Question.
Okay.
Does Stardust think that a person must agree with the critiques in order to take them seriously? What if they simply don't agree?
You don't have to agree with them, Whick, but you're not taking them seriously. And to act like you're taking them seriously is not right. Don't act like you are when you're laughing me off.
Because this is
it's almost like
time I've had these same critiques given to me.
But they're not coming from a person from bad faith. They're not coming from a bad faith person. They're coming from somebody who is your friend.
Does not matter in this case. It's the
messenger
message.
does matter. The messenger does matter.
Yeah, it does. It does. I agree with that.
And honestly, it comes off misogynistic. You're laughing off my critiques.
I laughed off 6 critiques.
Yeah, because Sick is not as good faith. Sick is not somebody that you view as good faith. I feel like you've given more credibility to males like in my position than you've given to me. I don't know. It can come off as, I'm not saying you're misogynistic. I'm saying it can come off as such. Okay? So I'm just saying that's how it's looking.
I'll eat the L. If this looks misogynistic, it looks misogynistic. They're still true. I don't know what to tell you.
Fine. That's fine.
Right?
You can laugh off my critiques. You can not take them seriously. You don't have to agree with them. It would be nice for you to. In regards to Foodshop's leaking all of the DMs, I think it was unnecessary for her to leak more than just the day of. I think sure, an apology for that would be good. But I think in the grand scheme of this entire situation, Foodshop's has been wronged more.
So, Stardust, I said this earlier in the panel, but just in case you missed it, because I suspect this is going to be the part people tune into. When I saw how hurt she was after the panel, and I think that was genuine. Like, I often think she's performative, but I think she was genuinely hurt in that. I felt bad because I really kind of realized in that moment, I know what it's like to have the entire world screaming at you, and it's clear that all the lolly stuff has taken a toll, right? And yeah, I wrote her a message privately, and I told her, I hope we can find a way to not be enemies, which I think was a very generous thing to do, considering how much she sat on me on that stream afterwards. And I think on this panel tonight, I've made a very specific effort to not go after the lolly stuff with her again, and to kind of keep my comments focused on, what you and Whick are talking about. So I can say from what you're saying, like, I'm trying very hard to be kind to her, even though she has not been kind to me. So
I get that. I get that. But again, if you were being called by everybody, you would probably, be pretty unwilling to be kind to anybody, right? Who's continuing to perpetuate that.
She did things to cost.
I'm going to flag and make my money real quick. $5 from Cryborn to say Stardust has used words like transphobic and misogynistic, such a dishonest smear. Thank you for the $5.
Okay. I don't think I used. I don't think I said transphobic during this, but I was just saying it is a very weird way to look at this. What I will say is, obviously she was very self-destructive. Obviously, I think she's an idiot, the way that she handled her optics. She knows I think that. And she knows that if she handles her optics in a way that's remotely similar again, I can't be around for that. Yeah, but...
Very similar to how I feel with Vaush, by the way. Exactly the same. So
yeah, but I mean, again, she's not just a drama farmer. She does, read political theory. I mean, yes, she drama farms, but, so do the rest of us. It's not any more so than anybody else in the space, so...
I really liked her the first time I went on her show. I walked away from that going, why the hell did Destiny ban her? She seems really, really cool. And I
didn't know Destiny banned her.
That's as I understand it. But just seeing all this behavior, I think it kind of shows that my instincts to kind of keep my distance, it feels right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't like if anyone's watching this and coming on like, I should really have Foodshops on my show. I don't know what to tell you. If anyone no one is going to think that.
Any panelist who's watching this, any potential panelist, any potential panelist,
I would you ever.
Any potential panelist who's watching this is also going to have doubts about coming on your show with.
Okay. Well, they can. I just fundamentally disagree. I
That's
just
fine.
don't
You
think
can
that's
disagree.
going to happen.
You can disagree.
I
We'll
found,
see, I
But
guess.
I
That'll
found
prove
Wick
the
to
pudding.
be extremely professional when booking shows, in my experience.
I'm sure he has in the past, and I don't have critiques of other shows. I have a critique of this one with Foodshops.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, like,
And just laughing off all of my critiques, like
because
I just don't. I
keep
think it's
addressing
dishonest.
them,
You know.
but it's like you don't. It's like
No,
you guys don't.
you don't really address them. You ask. I
I give you an
thought
answer,
I was going to
but
have.
you're like, well, you
I-
didn't give me the answer I wanted, so I'm going to
I
keep
thought I was
pressing
going to
until
have a
you say what
moment
I want.
here.
I'm
Wick.
telling you the answer. You don't like
Wick.
that answer, and that's fair, but it is the answer.
Wick, I thought I was going to have a moment to list off my critiques. Instead, you started interrupting me and laughing them off. That is not engaging in a very honest way.
List what critique haven't you gotten to?
I don't even remember now because you just. I don't think you look good in this, Wick. Like you look.
Okay, well, I disagree. I think I
You
think I'm coming out with
conceited. You
five
look
stars,
selfish.
baby.
You look
I think
like
I'm
you have a
coming
big
out
ego.
5 stars, baby.
This
But,
looks
well, I
bad.
guess we'll
This looks
see.
bad.
If
So
you say. You know what? We are going to advertise this. I am absolutely going to make sure that everyone sees this because I want them to see this because I think this is a good lesson, right? And I want to just contrast, if I may, since everyone is going to watch this, the behavior that I had when I was canceled on today, because I was canceled on today. Wu was not the original guest today. It was going to be Lav. And as late as last night, I made sure that, oh, Lav, are you coming on? She said yes. Then today, a few hours before the show, she said, you know what? I can't come on
she's the
today.
guest.
Gave me a
Wick.
reason, right?
She's
You
the
act as
guest.
if I have to suck the dick of my guests, and I don't.
Yes, you do. Yes,
I
you do.
don't.
That's what I do.
I'm not going to. It's a symbiotic relationship. It's give and take, right? I give to them,
The
they
guests
give to
are
me.
way
But
less
when one is
responsible for
demanding
organizing.
that I bow down and kiss
She
the
wasn't
ring,
demanding.
I'm
Food
going
Shops
to
was-
tell them to go fuck themselves.
Where did Foodshops ask you to bow down to her?
The whole thing is why don't you bring me on exactly now, right? Like,
It
why?
wasn't
And
that.
when she did get
It
on,
wasn't
when
that.
she did
That's,
get on,
again,
and I
a
gave her all the
dishonest
room in the
framing.
world, she's like, oh, no, my time wasn't
Dishonest
respected.
framing.
Oh.
She said,
Then she linked my DMs. She talks
She
mad
said,
shit.
"Hi."
She continues to talk about shit. She's going to make videos about this and farm this. Let's be
She
clear what's
said-
going to
she
happen.
said,
She's going to
"They
make
seem-"
multiple videos about this to
Mhm.
farm it for engagement. That is
after
what's
other
going to
people
happen.
farmed her, right? They seem to be quite passionate at the moment, so I'll wait. Even her message to you in DMs seems pretty understanding.
Okay, well, her behavior is just
You're framing
unacceptable,
this
and I
very,
think
very
that her
dishonest of
behavior
this.
after this has
So.
been unacceptable. And if you don't agree, then have her
No,
on
I
your
mean,
show.
look, I don't agree with everything that Foodshops does. There are, things. She has some pretty significant flaws, but her messages in the chat, unless I'm missing something, because I went through the chat, her messages in the chat don't seem that crazy to me. And even her messages to you in DM don't seem that crazy to me. Should she have leaked it? Obviously, not all the DMs.
I didn't appreciate what she said about my good friend Connor, where she's like, she's on stream, she's like, can you imagine being replaced on stream by Connor? Gross, bro. And I'm like,
Sure.
Connor is really good at what he does. That was really
Connor
neat.
is really good at what he does,
Yeah.
but I think she felt slighted because she had, again, interacted with Wick, had a conversation with Wick weeks prior about having this conversation about being able to defend
Right.
herself. And then
Sure.
Connor, who was not scheduled, got put in while she's waiting in the back.
Which was my fault, to be clear. I asked for that. But I also asked for you to come on, too, because I wanted to hang out with you. I just want to end on a positive note. Wick, can you say something nice about Stardust and Stardust?
like
Can you say
Stardust.
something about
I
Wick?
appreciate the fact that Stardust makes me look really good, so I thank you for that.
Oh, give her a chin.
Yeah,
No,
this is,
I like her
yes.
passion. No, that's a sincere thing.
That's
I do like
that's
your passion. I
actually,
like
this
your
is like,
fight.
again, just, it's egotistical. Wick doesn't make you look good.
Go ahead. Yeah, I'm giving you a compliment. I like your passion.
It wasn't, I'm sorry?
I like your passion.
Okay.
How is that
right,
not a
but
compliment?
No,
I like your
that one,
passion,
that
too.
one's fine. That one's
Yeah,
fine.
the one after was a dig, and that's fine too. I understand. It was a dig, and I'm owning up to it. But it was all in good fun. I like to spar. But if you're going to spar with me, I'm not going to use gloves. right?
Yeah,
So I'm gonna match your energy.
if you're gonna spar, I realized Whick puts on like a fucking bathing suit to spar with people. It's wild. He just fucking stumbles over himself and trips everywhere. Okay, if you think you look good in that, like good luck, my dude. Good luck. Okay. I do appreciate Whick. I have not had criticisms of his other panels. But just because I have criticism of this one show that he did, and he is unwilling to even engage in the criticisms, like, I don't know what to say. It makes you look really fucking bad.
Okay.
What specifically do you like about his shows?
I do like that he will get on a wide variety of people, who reach out to people who typically aren't in the space. I do really like that, and I think it was a pretty big get for him to get no opinion on. So yeah.
I appreciate that too. I think both of you, what I appreciate about you is I think you're both really genuine people. And I think in this space, like, it's almost prisoner's dilemma, right? Because your numbers go up if you betray someone and cause drama. Like, there's very little incentive to be genuine and real with people. And I think both of you are some of the most genuine people that I know in the space. And I really appreciate that about both of you.
Yeah, no, I mean, Whick is cool to hang out with in person. I've hung out with him in person. And I do think he's genuine. But I do think that there is an issue here. You don't have to agree with my critiques, but it would have been nice for you to just at least engage with them. So, yeah, it's just disappointing. So.
You hear her being disappointed? Does that matter to you, Whick?
No, it doesn't. Just be honest, Whick. It doesn't. It doesn't matter to you.
Mostly it doesn't. Mostly. But I am annoyed, right? Because the framing of I'm not taking this seriously, it's hard to take it seriously because these don't seem serious. If you like the hundreds, and I want to emphasize this, the hundreds of shows I've did, but you think it's very important to talk about this very specific incident, this very one thing,
yes,
and that's a problem, that's weird.
No, I don't think it's weird. I think that when there's an issue that I spot with this, and again, you know, other people seem to have critiques of you that seem to be similar. I haven't seen them. Maybe I have my blinders on this entire time. Who knows? But I think that I have been very supportive of you.
You have. In the past.
Historically, very supportive of you.
Yes. And I've supported you.
And
this hasn't been a one-way street.
No, it's not.
Supported you as
That's
well.
I'm not
in fact,
saying
no
it's
opinion. I hooked you up with no opinion.
You did, but I also hooked you up with Kidology. But we can both play this game.
It's a two-way street.
I'm not.
It's a two-way street, is what I'm saying.
I'm not.
So
I am not saying that you don't support me. I am saying the point of me bringing up that I have a history of supporting you is that when I bring a criticism to you, you don't have to agree with it, but at least try to engage with it honestly. And you didn't do that.
When
I bring up that I supported you, you decide to bring up, oh, I supported you. I hooked you up with this guy, as if that means anything. I'm bringing it up because I want you to take these criticisms seriously. It looks bad.
I understand that you want that, but these criticisms. Okay. The reason I'm not taking them seriously is because they are not serious, and I will not treat something. It would be lying to you. It would be disrespectful to you.
I guess our friendship is not serious.
It would be disrespectful to you. No. What?
It's
Your
not
criticisms
serious.
have nothing to do with our friendship.
You don't take me seriously if you don't take my criticism
I take
seriously.
You seriously, but not everything you say.
My criticism.
Yes, if you have a silly opinion, even if you're my friend,
when I'm being very serious with you, you're not taking me seriously.
Please, and if anyone's listening to this, and they consider them to be my friend, if I say something that's stupid, you better not pretend it's not stupid. You better tell me it's stupid. You better not dress it up and pretend it's not a clown. You better tell me. You better be honest with me.
This is stupid.
Because otherwise, you are not my friend.
You stole my insult from yesterday. I don't even know what to say. I said it was a clown show, and then today you're bringing up clown shows. Whick, get original. Don't steal my fucking jokes, okay? You're one, you're not taking my criticism seriously. 2, you're gonna steal my fucking jokes? Really? That's dirty. That's actually dirty.
Yes, the clown proprietary property, intellectual property. The clown insults the intellectual property.
Just don't steal my insults, dude. Come up with your own. Don't do that. That's extra insulting. That's just rubbing the salt on the wound, dude.
I don't know, like the joke police now? Or are we gonna?
I am the joke police. That would get you fucking crucified in the joke community. That would get you crucified in the joke community. Are you kidding me?
Man, look, in the joke community, I've done actual stand-up. Do you know this? Amateur
I didn't know that.
In California when I was.
Yeah, and how do comedians treat people who steal their jokes? They lynch them. Okay, so. Stay away from me, IRL, Whick.
Okay, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry that I used the clown joke when it's your intellectual property. My bad. I'll repent.
See, we got an apology.
There you go.
An apology. Yeah, sure. Totally an apology. Yeah.
Well,
are you serious? No, seriously. And be real with me here for a second. Are you offended that I used the clown joke thing?
No, I'm not. I'm not offended. I think it shows that you're lazy. You're engaging in this lazily. Yeah. But I'm not offended by it. I think it's just that you're being lazy with this. So.
I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, this is.
So how in this space do you deal with people that? There are people in this space that are bad faith. I'm not talking about food shops here, but there are people that are mentally ill in this space. There are people in this space that are out to attack your reputation, to drama form it.
Mm-hmm.
How do you deal with people like that in this space? Do you just ignore them? Do you,
for the most
ban
part,
them for your community?
My tactic has always been to kind of just ignore it, right? And again, I have been, when people have been like, "Oh, Whick doesn't engage in anything," I try to make it clear to other people, like, look, like Whick is dealing with, 90% of this might be bad faith. And then there's 10% that's good faith. And because there's so much bad faith, it's hard for him to parse out, right? I'm very empathetic to that because I've been in that position. I've definitely been under fire, right? And that's been since I entered the space. So I have defended Whick in that aspect. But I would expect at least somebody who has been through that since I entered the space, and somebody who has defended Whick and supported Whick, that he would at least try to engage with my criticisms, or at least try to internalize them and say, look, I don't agree with you, but I will think about them.
$5 from Artemis Fowl to say there are so many personal attacks against Whick that have nothing to do with the previous stream for some reason. Thank you for the $5. But I will say this, to also answer Wu's question first, and then I'll address Star. So you have to realize that most of the critics, like, you have to be able to judge between serious critique that matters and that has truth to it, and unserious critique that is just being weaponized or is coming from a place of ignorance or a place of confusion or in a place of bad faith. Now, I don't think Stardust is being bad faith. I want to be clear. I want to be very clear. I don't think Stardust is being bad faith. I don't think that she's doing this disingenuously. But I think she is wrong, ignorant, and confused. Okay? I think that I have dealt with, not just today, but when it happened, as well as especially on your stream when I came on to your stream, I have dealt with it in a serious manner. You did not like the answers I gave. That's your right, but they were real answers. They were my response to your critique, and you can say that's dumb and I don't like it. That's your right, but to pretend
I don't have a problem with that.
Or if I may, to pretend that these weren't serious responses, or that I was just laughing it off. I begin to laugh when I give you the answers, but then you continue to go down the same lines. At a certain point, okay, I realize you're no longer interested in my actual answers here. You just want to question me, and that's when it becomes kind of a joke, and I start laughing.
No, Whick, yesterday we had a very good one-on-one conversation, and at the end of that conversation, I said, we'll have to agree to disagree. Today, I popped on because I think Brianna wanted to talk to me, and I started listing off my critiques. It would be nice, again, even though we had that conversation yesterday, and we very amicably ended it, and we said we'll have to agree to disagree, it would be nice when I'm listing off my critiques that you're not laughing me off. I'm not, Yeah, we engaged
Well,
yesterday.
when you say I'm being misogynistic, I find that laughable.
I said that it's coming off as misogynistic. Yes, it is.
Okay.
I didn't say that you, and I
laughable.
very much clarified that I don't think you're misogynistic. I don't think you're
Sure.
transphobic. I don't think that you're any type of bigot, but it comes off that way. It absolutely does.
Okay, $5 just real quick. $5 for
Sure.
Fondue to say, is Stardust serious about Wick being a bad faith panel show? Were we going to trade the countless times of sincerity for a few encounters with Foodshops? Thank you for $5. Go ahead, Blue.
No, I just, gosh, I don't want to get all feminist here, but I can speak for myself, Wick, that something I struggle a lot with is it hurts me when I don't get taken seriously a lot. I really feel like I have to work harder than other people do and do my homework more. And like, it hurts in a way, I think, that maybe your experiences may not be making you see clearly. So I don't mean to be all therapist with you, but I wish you would take what she's saying a little bit more seriously, because I know it hurts me when it happens to me.
Okay, just to be clear, let's focus in on the misogyny.
Okay.
I think that's very important.
Look,
I would consider it, if I may, I would consider it misogynistic if I treated you any different than I did a man. And we saw this yesterday. The men who were critical of me, I treated them in the same way. If anything, this is me being egalitarian towards you. Now, you may not like that, but that is absolutely what's happening here. And the other things I can laugh off, but this is actually something that kind of inference that you make when you say this is coming off as misogynistic. Like, I understand you're not accusing me directly of it, but you understand the implications, you understand the inference, you understand the allusions you are making when you invoke that, right? And what I'm saying to you is that is such a heady charge, and I'm going to have to ask you to back it up.
Okay, optically, to say that optically it comes off that way, and still clarify that I do not think you're a misogynist. I do not think you're a transphobe. I do not think you're a bigot of any kind. But yes, when you're laughing off my critiques, when I come on here, yes, it is. It's going to look bad. And yes, to already like fight pretty hard to get taken seriously, and we had this panel yesterday where like it's filled with a bunch of dudes, right? Who you're fighting with. I think you engaged well yesterday, and I think we agreed to disagree. But when I'm asked to come onto this and to give my piece, and you're laughing off all of my critiques, when I'm trying to give, a summary of my critiques, it doesn't look good.
$5 from Artemis Fowl to say, $5 from Artemis Fowl to say Stardust doesn't think Wick is misogynistic. She just thinks you come off that way to Stardust. So I understand that someone who wanted to try to paint me as a misogynistic could clip things out of context, paste it all together, and make this hit piece against me. Look at Wick being misogynistic. I'm not going. I don't.
Did you not earlier in this conversation bring up me being transphobic?
Yeah, I think what you did to Jaden was transphobic. Yes, I do think.
Okay.
Can I ask you to notice that you saying that to Stardust didn't, so I'm not saying she's right or wrong here, but in my experience, it's really difficult to talk about structural sexism at all with people. Like, I found this with my own husband, right? Like, sometimes he will do something or say something, and it's like, maybe you need to think about your attitude there a little bit, or maybe you're not seeing this clearly. It feels like with this one thing, the defenses get so high, it's hard to have a conversation. And I just think sometimes, like for you specifically, it's ironic because your entire thing is having open conversations. So
yeah. So here's the difference. Here's the difference, right? You called me transphobic. I owned up to it. I said that you were coming off as misogynistic and you got yourself into a tizzy.
Okay. Yes, because I think that my accusation right here with I can back up, and I don't actually know her name. I only heard it was Jaden. If that's incorrect, please correct me. Jalen. Sorry, my bad. Fair enough. Good correction. Thank you. You told her she wasn't a real woman.
I
think
didn't say she
pretty
wasn't a
good
real woman.
evidence that statement was transphobic in nature. But I'm asking you to do the same. Show me where I have said to you that is misogynistic in the same manner.
The fact that you were engaging in this double standard is crazy, right? First off, I did not say that she wasn't a real woman. I said that it is not something, a female-coded behavior to drop the N-word with a hard R left and right and just do it like you're handing out candy. That's pretty detailed. And it's true. Punching holes in the wall is not a female-coded thing. That's generally a male-coded thing. Dropping the N-word with the hard R left and right is not a female-coded thing. That's generally a male-coded thing. I will admit I was transphobic. I will own up to it. I am transphobic, absolutely, to one person and one person only. But just saying the default with you saying, I didn't do anything wrong and just constantly laughing me off the entirety of us engaging today. Yes, it's going to look bad optically. Yeah.
I fundamentally disagree. Stardust, I take you as a person, right? I do take you seriously. That's why you're on here, right? That's why I invite you to panels. That's why we hang out. That's why we're friends, right? I take you seriously. But
it doesn't feel like it today.
Well, because I cannot take these accusations seriously. I cannot. I have tried to engage with them, and I did yesterday, as you said, as you mentioned, we had a cordial conversation.
And we agreed to disagree, but I was invited on today, and I just was...
But these are not new accusations, right? These are not new.
I was invited on, Whick, and I was summarizing my positions. That's fine. If you feel like another day of you dealing with the same criticisms as yesterday is too much, and you just have to laugh it off today because 2 days in a row is too much, then yeah, fine. But, it looks how it looks. So
$2 from Cryborn. Can we get a new caller? No, we're going to stick with this one. No one tells me what to do on my show.
I am kind of getting bored of this conversation.
Yeah,
okay, we need to go. $5 from Artemis Val to say Stardust did defend her actions the exact same way in regards to the transphobic accusation. $2 from Gritterbill. Whick, why did you pair Viv and Foodshops earlier? Because I was just mentioning two people I was having beef with to various levels and noting how, as much as the beef was, I would never accuse them of engaging in toxic male behavior or anything like that, or doubt their womanhood and things like that. Even Viv, who I've kicked off and banned from my platform, and I do not wish well, right? I would never do something like that. I wouldn't. It's just beyond the pale.
What did Viv do to cause that, if I can ask?
Oh, the blood libel stuff, right? It wasn't like, look, so she came on, and she made a whole bunch of statements about how in this incident, in a bombing of the IDF bombed a news station in Gaza that killed dozens of American journalists, right? And then when I looked up the event, no journalists had died, but she had gone on and on for a while about how I should be really mad at the IDF, how I should be raging out at the IDF. They killed American journalists. And I was like, oh, and you were doing this to me to manipulate me? And I go and I look at the incident and there's no dead in this incident? Fuck right off. Yeah. I was very angry. I'm still angry. $5 from Fondue. Imagine if Whick had never unbanned Foodshop. I blame Dev. $5 from Glurbelt. You said, do you know why I go after Viv and Foodshops? I don't. Please explain. When did I say that?
I think she's saying she doesn't know why. She wants
well, the Foodshop thing is because how first of all, the original thing, I didn't have beef with her, but there was credible accusations of something there, like lolly. Yeah, it was gross. So got her out of the community. SFO convinced me to be like, okay, maybe hear her out. When I gave her that opportunity, I think she shit the bed. That's what we're talking about now, right? And so that was my issue there. Viv's different, right? Viv's
I think you should take a few days. I think you should take a few days away from this and then revisit the messages and revisit the conversation and what she exactly said. Because I think if you do that and separate yourself from it, you might see it in a different light.
Okay.
I don't think that's unfair. I would like to see Foodshops, and this is truly this is advice I would give many people in this space. Something that's really served me well through my career is we can be brutally honest with each other in private. We can hash things out in private, and you don't take it public. And I think it makes it real. I think you burn a lot of bridges when there's a sense that, it's performative and drama farmy. And, maybe she's due an apology. I actually changed my mind listening to you today, Star. I think that's fair. But I think this tendency is not going to serve many people well in the long run here. I think it ultimately leaves you alone.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, I think in general, it's a pretty bad idea to leak anything in DMs. At the same time, I think as a content creator, I've just realized that anything I say in DMs can be, I should imagine, is going to be public at some point. But I do understand the reasoning for her. I understand her reasoning for at least leaking the messages of that day because she felt like it was being framed dishonestly.
Yeah, that's more fair. I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
But the entirety probably is not necessary, and
fundamentally disagree on all counts, but we've been over this.
Yep. Okay. Well, I'm gonna head out because I have some stuff to cover. But thank you for having me on. Sorry for sorry for
Why are you apologizing?
What's it called? Hogging your time. So I do appreciate it. Sorry to the people in the backstage.
I drew a great picture of you two going after each other while you were screaming.
Nice.
Why do we have tentacles? That's weird.
No, that's the fire behind you.
Okay.
Different
Though I don't mind the tentacles. The octopus is my channel's mascot. So, yeah. All right. See you guys later. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. Damn. Okay. That was fun. Jesus Christ. My throat is tired, guys. Why does a person need training on how to be a human? Let me go through the super chats here because I haven't been able to read them out. Okay. Taco face fart. Oh, wait, non-taco face fart. Okay, let's start off with Addie. $2 says, does food shops have good-looking feet? I don't know. What a strange question. Outsanity. Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships in YouTube chat. Also, Outsanity, thank you for the $2. Whick is the scat man. I don't know what that means. Maybe he scats a lot. Maybe he has a part-time thing where he goes into the alley and does skibbity boot doot bop, with a bunch of jazz people. That would be interesting. Artemis, thank you for the $5. Keep up the good work. Regardless of whether you are right or wrong, don't back down. I appreciate that. Thank you. Then Artemis, thank you again for another $5. Thanks, Mr. Poops, for calling me king. Thank you again for the $5. And then $5 again from Artemis. I think there are good people on both sides of this argument. Thank you. I just again want to point out, I'm called a transphobe. I'm down for owning it. I'm down for saying why I said what I said, and I'm down for saying it again, and I'm down for saying, yeah, you know what? I am transphobic to that one person and one person only. I just think it's interesting that I say, hey, this is gonna look pretty misogynistic. There's no, he crumbles at that, right? So that's what your mom told me last night. Got her. Thank you, Akana boy. Was it fun? I think it was fun. I think you basically cooked him. I'm glad you think so. First, because he said he'll keep shitting on people. Wait, who said who will keep shitting on people? Based. I know people don't like it when I bring out, when I say anything about misogyny. People immediately get super pissed at me. But I'm gonna call it like I call it, okay? I'm saying to a friend, hey, optically this does not look good. Should probably be aware of that. So, yeah, dudes always get so pissed when I bring up the M word, okay? I never bring it up for that reason. Yeah. I generally love Whick, especially when I first started watching him. He has definitely gotten used to his position, and his head definitely got way bigger after the live event. He just needs to chill 5%. Yeah, and I get where he is from his position, right? There are people who will engage and will act in bad faith, right? When they're criticizing him. There are people who are just out to get him to drama farm. I'm not one of those people. The fact that the critique is coming from me should mean something.